Happy holidays, everyone! It's time for another EU News update, and we have so much to talk about. As always, for any merchandise that you see in this video, there will be links in the description where you can either buy or pre-order them. First off, I'm sad to report on the passing of Mark Thorpe, who worked as a model maker and animatronic designer for Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He passed away on November 24th of Parkinson's disease at the age of 77. He has led a remarkable life. Even before working on Star Wars, he trained dolphins and had pet alligators. On Star Wars, he worked on greebling the hulls of Star Destroyers, making them look more complex with mechanical-looking elements that don't actually serve any purpose. He's also worked on various models like Cloud City, the TIE Bomber, or the Death Star tunnels. After Star Wars, he worked on all three original Indiana Jones movies. He even worked on the melting face shot in Raiders of the Lost Ark, sucking the faces off with vacuums and pumping simulated blood, pus, and mucus through tubes. It was one of his favorite shots to work on. He also worked on various movies like Poltergeist, Batteries Not Included, Dragon Slayer, Howard the Duck, Explorers, and The Hunt for Red October. He created robot fighting sports in the 90s with Robot Wars, which paved the way for various robot fighting shows like BattleBots. I'm in awe of his talent and his life experience. He sounds like an incredible man. And on social media, his daughter posted that he would want to be remembered for his many artistic ventures rather than his battle with Parkinson's. And that's not hard to do considering everything he's been a part of. Mark is survived by his daughter Megan Pfeffer and his grandchildren Evelyn and Elliot Pfeffer. He will be missed by his friends and family, and his work will live on for the rest of time. A fellow EU YouTuber, Surfer76, otherwise known as Surfer Eddie, faced a terrible loss. A fire has devastated his home and destroyed his Star Wars collection. Eddie is a great guy, and I had the pleasure of meeting him at LegendsCon this year. He, of course, did nothing to deserve this heartache. But in slightly more positive news, he put up a GoFundMe specifically for Star Wars fans to help him rebuild his EU collection, and many have already come together to help donate. I will definitely leave a link in the description if you want to throw something his way. Good luck, Eddie. I hope things get better for you. On October 24th, a Twin Suns Foundation volunteer in the Toronto area brought 30 Star Wars books purchased with your donations to Sick Kids Foundation in Toronto. And on November 9th, the Twin Suns Foundation teamed up with the 501st Legion and the Rebel Legion to bring a fun time to the patients of the Holland Borview Kids Rehabilitation Hospital. This was a full-blown Star Wars event, including a showing of the films for the patients. Twin Suns Foundation was able to contribute to this event by bringing quite a few Star Wars books for the kids. With both of these donation events, we have surpassed 1,800 books donated in the Foundation's lifetime to children's hospitals, libraries, community centers, schools, and more. The next milestone is 2,000 Star Wars books donated, and thank you to everyone who has helped over the years. Han Solo's blaster prop, used by Harrison Ford in A New Hope, broke the Guinness World Record of most expensive prop gun ever sold at an auction. The Rock Island Auction Company sold the iconic weapon for $1,057,500. I would love to have this for my collection, but I think I would have to save up a little first. In book news, we have a lot to talk about. On December 5th, the Star Wars Epic Collection, The New Republic Volume 7, was released. A legend returns and the future awaits. Boba Fett is alive, and the deadly assignments he takes on next will prove that he's still the galaxy's greatest bounty hunter. Then, Luke Skywalker has established a new academy to train the next generation of Jedi Knights, and his students are given their first mission, ready or not, to stop an ancient evil on a distant mining colony. Plus, Luke is about to marry Mara Jade, once the Emperor's greatest assassin, but threats from both sides arise to prevent their happy union. And after Chewbacca's untimely death, his greatest friends, family, and enemies share remembrances of an unlikely rebel's heroic life. This book collects Boba Fett, Bounty on Barkuda, When the Fat Lady Swings, Murder Most Foul, and Agent of Doom, Jedi Academy Leviathan, The Mixed Up Droid, Union, Chewbacca, and material from Star Wars Tales issue 19. In October, Lucas's Wars, a graphic novel that tells the incredible journey of writer-director George Lucas, from his early life to the many struggles he faced to imagine, write, produce, and shoot a space fantasy called Star Wars, was released in France and in some other parts of Europe. I think this is a great idea for a nonfiction comic, and I would love to see it available in English soon. Another nonfiction book about Star Wars' history is set to come out in June of next year. The Star Wars Radio Dramas, Brian Daley, and the Serialization That Saved NPR. This book will tell the story of the original Star Wars radio dramas and the involvement of Brian Daley, who died shortly after the Return of the Jedi radio drama was recorded. I don't know much about the behind the scenes of the radio dramas, so I think this book will be a very educational read. On Twitter, John Jackson Miller pointed out that The Lost Tribe of the Sith has now hit its 20th printing. Pretty good considering that the first 2/3 of the book have been available to download for free for years. And on December 19th, the unabridged audiobooks of the Star Wars novels Outbound Flight and Survivor's Quest were released for the very first time. It has been a while since the release of the last unabridged audiobook for a Legends novel, but it looks like we are finally getting more. And we'll get even more next year. And in France, The New Republic Volume 2 was released on December 6th. Wedge Antilles and his squadron are the heroes of the Battle of Endor. Since this victory, they have protected the New Republic under the name Rogue Squadron, and with the remnants of the Empire seeking revenge, the X-Wing Squadron is never short of action. This book collects Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Leader, Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron Special, and Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron issues 1 through 16. In merchandise news, we have a lot to talk about. On June 2024, we will receive a Jango Fett figure for the Vintage Collection. This figure comes with 7 accessories, including his signature jetpack, his blaster pistols, and fire effects for his flamethrower. Jango Fett is now available for pre-order. In spring 2024, we are getting a retro multi-pack of 6 figures based on the Phantom Menace. These 3.75-inch scale figures are detailed to look like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, Queen Amidala, Darth Maul, Jar Jar Binks, and a B-1 battle droid. These figures feature classic Kenner branding, 5 points of articulation, as well as packaging treated with a weathered look. In the Black Series, we will be receiving a C-3PO with a B-1 battle droid body, and a Super Battle Droid figure 2-pack, inspired by the characters' appearances in Attack of the Clones. This is also available in spring 2024. And in video games, we have a few things to go over. On the KOTOR remake, Disney's gaming head said that it's an incredibly popular game and one they're really proud of, meaning all those reports of it being cancelled were actually nonsense. Maybe. It'd be nice to get some actual news instead of cancellation rumors every few months. Also, the original Phantom Menace game for the PlayStation 1 has been age-rated for the PS5 and the PS4 in Taiwan. This indicates that at some point, the game could come to the PS5 and the PS4 for PlayStation Plus members. As always, I'm in full support of older games being ported to newer consoles. Speaking of which, I recently received the Master Edition of The Force Unleashed for the Nintendo Switch, so expect an unboxing video soon. On Facebook, a gentleman by the name of Arcos Sapiens Stellaris, I'm sorry for mispronouncing her name, shared some behind-the-scenes photos of costumes and props for the game Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. The person who gave them to him gave him permission to share them, and they are really cool. And in SWTOR news, Game Update 7.4 Chains in the Dark was launched on December 5th. And we also have several items added to the cartel market for Game Update 7.4, such as the Darth Nul Dual Saber, the Ancient Star Map Regeneration Toy, the Suppression Trooper Armor, the Suppression Trooper Rifle, the Defiant Maverick Armor Set, the Westar 19B Weapon Set, the Westar 19C Weapon Set, and enhanced die packs that makes armor look either metallic, pearlescent, or matte. And players will also be able to receive a new outfit called the Life Day Officer Armor. SWTOR is celebrating its 12th anniversary, and still remains the last bastion of new EU content. Luckily, it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And that about covers it for 2023. It's been quite a year for the EU. We've had a fairly steady release of Epic Collections, Essential Legends collections, hardcover omnibuses, and even some EU figures. We've had to say goodbye to people who have played a pivotal role in the creation of this wonderful space franchise. And we've had various companies utterly shit the bed, like Aspire with KOTOR 2 DLC, or like Disney with anything they touch. Without question, the biggest thing to happen within the EU movement was LegendsCon. Never in my wildest dreams did I anticipate a convention related to the Star Wars Expanded Universe, and have it turn out so well. When it comes back in 2025, I hope it's even bigger and better. The next year is 2024, 10 years since the EU's decanonization and discontinuation. My naive hope is that Lucasfilm will recognize that fact and release at least one new Legends book or comic. But we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, take care everyone, and have a happy new year.